there are certain things you hear online, okay? And the certain things you hear online, keep in mind, okay? They are in the form of mind viruses, all right? They create mental pictures in your mind based on the words that the individual uses. Certain things that are said create scenarios in your mind that stimulate thought, right? And we start to ask, what is an actual virus? Where does it stem from? We have mind viruses, okay? Now, you could be a beneficial virus or you could be a malevolent virus, okay? But at the end of the day, you are a walking virus. And when you speak or when you give people anything of yourself, okay, you could be implanting a mind virus that's going to be beneficial or malevolent for that individual. So keep in mind when it comes down to what you observe on the things outside of yourself, okay? You are a walking virus and you are nothing but an experimental monkey. No different than they use lab rats in a laboratory to have test trials performed on them, okay? You are nothing more than a test trial like the rat is. So when you look at rats, right, they experiment on them before they experiment on humans. Now, when you look at rats, they categorize you as a rat as well. That's why they say you are part of a rat race, right? When they want to kill rats, when they become an infestation, what do they use? They use fluoride as the main ingredient in rat poison, right? They use fluoride in your drinking water in small amounts, right? They use fluoride back in the day for the concentration camps to keep these prisoners docile and sheep-like. The foods you eat have chemicals to keep you docile and sheep-like. Now, who monitors what you're eating, though? The Food and Drug Administration. That's why food and drug is in the same category. If you don't know the difference between food, how it could be a drug or food could be a medicine, I mean, that's all up to you as the individual, how you manage your dragon and what you let your dragon manage and control over you. You know? So think about this, though. When you look at how things are performed outside of you, they're trying to take, manage, and control of viruses, right? You are a walking virus. How much management and control do you have over yourself? See, the thing is, if you don't have that management and control over yourself, then that's where people start to have management and control over you. All right? The mind, okay, is the government for the trillions of cells that you consist of. Okay? Now, I want you to understand this, okay? It doesn't matter what color people outside of you are. Black, white, purple, green, blue, red. It doesn't matter what color they are. Particularly when we say melanated, black, all right, or white, all right, Caucasians. And then everything in between would be like Hispanics or Asians or whatnot, okay? Check this out. When you have a melanated individual, they are the direct expression of melanin, right? But this is not a physical thing, okay? Just like when you look at a woman, okay? A woman is a representation of what the feminine energy is. So one can say they have direct access to this, but even women nowadays don't really have so much direct access to this feminine energy because of the system that we are in. The system that we're in, okay, influences them to think that they need to be a certain way, all right? They don't have access to it. A man wants to be a man, a real fucking manly man, but you can't have a grasp on that masculine energy unless you have a grasp on that feminine energy, okay? A man still has feminine energy in him, okay? Just a small amount of what we would categorize as estrogen to testosterone ratio. A woman still has a small amount of testosterone, all right? But these are elixirs. That's the whole thing. All right. And these things are stimulated through certain experiences that you may have. Particularly, it could even be trauma. It could just be experiences that slowly but surely with mind control, okay, start to mold how you actually express yourself in reality. You can have a white person, okay, have more access to melanin than a actual melanated person, okay? And this can be the amount of soul that's in them toward whatever it is that they're doing. You can feel this through music. You can feel this through the expression, the information that may come out, the dancing it may be, the creativity, okay? This all comes from your imagination, that dark energy, Okay? So there's melanated people who have no direct access to this because they're coming from an ego space. So the information that you're listening to, is it feeding your spirit or is it feeding your ego? Because if it's feeding your ego, you're going to feel very proudful, and you're going to feel a sense of pride and hierarchy just because your skin is darker than somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? But this all starts how they categorize you and put you as the minority to begin with for that reason. You know what I'm saying? But now it's no different. Now you just have this expression of melanin, but you don't have access to it. You know? But this is not a physical thing. You just have the expression of it. It's just like a woman is the direct expression of what we would anthropomorphize as a feminine energy. But that's not really what feminine energy is. You hear what I'm saying? Just like we have the word love all fucked up. It's not real love. So the access that you may have. See, I heard the examples where they said that if you own an animal, all right, and you give it enough love and it's in your home, it can evolve as a human, okay? Now, think about this carefully, okay? If the animal, it's the same thing. If you eat an animal, that animal can evolve into a human, all right? It can evolve into a human if directed carefully and correctly, meaning we actually use the concept of prayer correctly, okay? So now, when we look at it from a human perspective, okay, and you look at your body, okay, some people actually will, let's say a Caucasian person, they gain access to the fact that information was given to them that they're no good, they won't make it, you know, to an evolutionary state because they need to be melanated, okay? They may tend to start to hate themselves, right? But then look at the examples I heard also is that they look for a melanated person to love them. And because that melanated person loved them, that's what helped them evolve to the next level. Okay, it helped them evolve beyond this human vessel. But they had to have a black individual love them. No different than I just said, if you love your animal, you can help that animal evolve to the next evolutionary species, right? So they needed a melanated person to do that. But do you need a melanated person to do that? No. You access your own melanin. That's the whole thing. Everybody has access to that melanin. So a white person is no different than a man, okay, trying to gain access to his feminine energy and embrace the cosmos to be able to really express his masculine energy. That's the whole thing. So it's not to say that you need something outside of you to do that. Once again, if you embrace the darkness or the melanin within you, okay, it's just like a person who I made the example about relationships. When you have a partner, you attract what you are, okay? So you can gain access to this by energizing and exciting the cells within you with your attention, because you're redirecting that energy outside of you within. Everybody's a piece of the puzzle you need to complete this game. So the same way I'm a man, if I'm complete and I happen to attract a complete partner in physical form through sex magic or through the fact that I have a building relationship with a female, I am actually able to have direct access to create my reality in the way I see fit, okay? But I am also able to utilize this as something that I can help evolve myself to the next level. Because the same way that you have a virus to help you upgrade, right? By coming in contact with your DNA, don't forget that a woman outside of you, in completion because you're complete, is another walking virus. And she can help you evolve the same way that this virus in metaphysical form can help you evolve as well. Okay? Because you're actually downloading this individual into your system. Notice how people who are in toxic relationships, they stay stuck in those toxic relationships. Why is that? Because you're both the same. And unless you change yourself, that person's still going to be in your reality. It takes a little bit of discipline. You would have to actually disconnect from that person, come to a realization that there's no fingers to point. You attracted a person that's a mirror of you, so you detach from that person. That's a death process. And then this is where you evolve yourself with your mind. That's the energizing part, because when you die, your mind is still an energy source. Your DNA is still an energy source. So you evolve. You detach from that in physical form. You detach from these things. That's a death process in and of itself. So you detach from the fact that you're either melanated or not melanated. You access that melanin, which is formless and shapeless, okay? Dark father, okay? Like, everybody has access to this substance that we call melanin, which is shapeless and formless, and it's not prejudice. Anybody has access to it. It doesn't matter. Because it doesn't matter. It's not matter. It's not materialized. The matter is the jigsaw, the maze that we are trying to get out of. Okay? There is no black or white individual outside of you. That's fucking ego. You have access to, everybody is technically supposed to be in an androgynous state. Neutrality. Okay? We only have expressions of gender here based on what we were vibrating to. Your melanin on your skin and you're expressing it in physical form is because of the vibration you were in to attract this expression of reality that you happen to be in right now. Yet, somebody who may be white is still somebody you need to complete your game. No different than a man can use a woman for their benefit, for the sake of evolution. I've spoken to melanated people, white people. Me having building conversations is a form of sex. I'm exchanging chemistry. And it's harmonious or unharmonious. If it's unharmonious, you'll notice there's awkward silence. There's things that just don't go. So you just kind of like, you know, keep it moving. You know, you don't waste time. But if you love your pet, yeah, you can help your pet evolve. If you're a white person and you have a black partner that can love you for who you are, yeah, there's a science to that that can help you evolve. Of course, you have access to melanin, but that's in physical form. But it all comes down to self, because if you attract a melanated partner and that partner is toxic because you're toxic, you attract what you are. You will still be incomplete. You're still coming from a human perspective of how you're trying to figure this shit out. It's just like somebody taking psychedelics, drugs, all in hopes of becoming enlightened and woke. If your mind ain't right, you just had experiences. That's it. So if you like this video, like it. That would help my channel out. We'll talk soon.